So please tick this box if you can stand and sit without difficulty. So are you grabbing onto something to get you out of the chair and using it as leverage to pull yourself up? Are you using a walking stick to lean on? Those kind of things. Equally, when you sit down in a chair, do you end up falling back into it? Do you need something to hold on to so you can lower yourself down easily? Those kind of things. And it is the action of standing and sitting. Okay? Can you move from one seat to another right next to it without help from somebody else? Again, for this one, I would be clicking it varies for me, but for someone else, it would be a no. For someone else, it might be a yes. Just because you tick no doesn't mean that you don't. Tick yes doesn't mean that you don't have other mobility problems, but you've just got to make sure that it's consistent with your previous answers as to how you've described it. This is not an indication of how to hack the form. It's just if you were to say, yeah, for example, I use a wheelchair and I've got a lot of pain in my wrists, so I have to have that wheelchair moved around by somebody else. Then if you were saying on here, you were absolutely fine moving from one chair to another, wrists are involved in that. So why didn't you mention that? Are you really not having any trouble? Ask yourself that question. If you're finding that you can do it yourself, but you get a lot of pain in your wrists, then that would be a no, or it varies, and put that information in there. While you are standing or sitting, or a combination of the two, how long can you stay in one place and be pain-free without the help of another person? It's such a weird question, the way that that's worded. I mean, I don't know any people that have ever made me pain-free. Even if somebody stood there holding me, I'd still be in pain. What do you want about? Anyway, so it does say this does not mean standing or sitting completely still. It includes being able to change position. So if you're in, I have fortunately quite a wide chair, so I can move around in the chair shifts positions, things like that. So, I can be in this chair for much longer periods of time than I could be in a different type of chair. But yes, so how long can you stay in one position without being pain-free? Well, for me, there's never a minute that I am free of pain. So I would be less than 30 minutes, whatever position I'm in. And you're sitting there watching me in this video right now, sitting here. I haven't moved since I started recording this video, much out of this thing, out of this position, but I'm still in pain. Okay, I know it doesn't look like I am because I'm in a good mood and all of that, but my wrists are hurting, my hips are hurting, my ankles are hurting. I'm not pain-free, and I am moving around and adjusting my position. So again, make sure you put as much information as you can in there as to how that pans out, particularly standing. For me, I can't stand for more than 5 minutes at a time, without starting to feel the pain. I may stand for more than 5 minutes, but I can't stand with pain-free for more than 5 minutes. That's important. And whether or not I've got the help of another person makes no difference to that. So that is the sort of information that you'll be needing to get into there. And it does say what makes sitting and standing difficult for you. So be very specific and don't be afraid to relate it to the specific health condition that causes it. So if you've got arthritis, due to the arthritis in my knees, I find standing in one position to be for more than 5 minutes at a time excruciatingly painful, moderately painful, and that pain builds up over the period of time until my knees are likely to go and I might fall if I stand in that position, or whatever it is, give as much detail as you can. And as I said before, don't forget you can continue on a separate sheet if necessary. Reaching, everyone's favourite question on the mobility side. So please tick this box if you can reach up with either of your arms without difficulty. Well, yeah, I can do that, but it's not without difficulty, because as I raised my hand, suddenly I had this pain shoot down my hand here. Like, why? What was that about? Now, if I was holding something heavy, or even not that heavy, fragile possibly, and I went like that and I had that pain in my hand that I just had, I might drop it. What if it's a glass full of sulfuric acid? That could be dangerous in a work environment. So we've got to be really careful how we answer this and make sure we are being honest. Can you lift at least one of your arms high enough to put something in the top pocket of a coat or jacket while you're wearing it? Well, for me, I'd have to say just simply yes on that one. I have no issue with that at all. But of course, somebody with, for example, no arms wouldn't be able to do that. So, equally, there may be variability with that as well, because it might be some days you can do that, but then other days you can't, because you can't even get out of bed, you're feeling that unwell. Can you lift one of your arms above your head? So can you raise one arm? Well, I can raise this arm, but this arm, when I do that, the pain, not great. So make sure you are clear. And again, the variability as well. If some days you can't do that, then make sure that you indicate how many days that you can't do it, and so on and so forth. Okay. Physical functions. Please tick this box if you can pick things up and move them without difficulty.